first guest this evening has starred in such films as Armageddon, That Thing You Do, and Stealing Beauty. Her latest is Cookie's Fortune. Please welcome the beautiful and very talented Liv Tyler. Thank you.
Enormous.
My physique? Yes, I work out constantly. So people don't know I'm tall. You're very tall.
You're very tall.
Oh no, you're tall. 45 minutes later, you're tall. No, how tall are you exactly?
5'10", but I have enormous shoes on.
Giant shoes. When I wear heels, I'm like 7 feet tall. Were you one of those people that's always tall? Did you get tall, young? Because I'm curious about it. Because I was a late bloomer.
Right.
I hit puberty at like 26.
Right.
Pretty much. And it's just settling in.
Yeah, about the same time.
Yeah. That's how we found each other.
Waiting for him, just to be polite.
He's like, come on, let's go.
I was born this tall. So.
Seriously?
I've been a beast pretty much my whole life.
A beast? Is that what you said?
I found a picture of me when I was a kid recently at school. I was like in 4th grade, and all of my friends came up to like about here.
So you were that big? Because that's hard.
Huge.
That's very hard for women that grow that tall, that quickly, that young.
I was really strong and hyperactive, and I was kind of proud of it in a way.
Right. So you were just tossing the other kids around in gym class. I am
was the best
Grovo.
tire swing pusher. I was like really good at pushing the tire swing.
What's a little weird is I've met your dad, Steven Tyler, Aerosmith fame. I've met him, and he is about your height.
Right.
He's he looks a lot like you and everything. Is he about the same height as you?
He's like about half an inch shorter than me and my mom, but we're all about the same. Yeah.
Right. You ever? I mean, 'cause you could wear his clothes pretty much, couldn't you? You could just, couldn't you do that?
We share clothes all the time. Yeah.
Do you really? Seriously?
Well, he had a fire a few years ago, and they keep adding on the house, and they built this massive closet for him that's like as big as this whole room practically, and there's racks and racks of stuff, and we always have big fashion shows together. Yeah.
That's a nice father-daughter thing. I like your feather boa, Dad. Yeah. It looks good on you, kid. Oh yeah, he's got the scarves, and he's got the 70s
In the Armageddon video, we wore that. There was like a coat made of human hair or something. Yeah.
What? I didn't know it was made of you. Let's talk about this. He's a serial killer. They've been looking for him. I saw you in the audience at the Oscars.
Right.
Now, what was that like? Because most of us watching it on TV.
It's pretty intense. I think there's something so thrilling about being at home and making it back from the bathroom at commercial break
or else deciding to tune out for 40 minutes if it's not holding your attention and going and cutting out origami or something. You had to be in the audience the whole time. What was that like?
Well, you can only move during commercial breaks, so you're sort of stuck there. And a really funny thing happened where I came back from doing my presentation, and this guy was sitting in my seat, and I was like, excuse me, can you get up? And he wouldn't get up, and he kicked my boyfriend out of his seat for like an hour and a half, and I was stuck there alone. And
who was this guy?
A guy wandered in. It's fault in the end, but they have fillers, so when somebody gets up, they have someone that comes and sits.
So it doesn't look like
hiding out the whole time and didn't tell anybody, but it was a big drama.
I would think if you're a celebrity and you have a seat at the Oscars, it would be weird to go to the bathroom, come back, and a guy's sitting there. You're like, hi, I'm Liv Tyler, that's my seat. I don't care, get lost. Run along now, I'm not leaving.
The New Yorker in me came out, I almost started a fight with him. I was like, ah! And then I was like, oh,
that would have picked up the whole show, I think. If they had cut to the audience and Liv Tyler was beating a man to death with her shoe. That would be kind of fun. Armageddon. This is an unprecedented movie. It cost something like $140 million.
Pretty extravagant, yeah.
And I'm thinking one thing. This show has a budget of, I think we spend $200 a week on this show. Tell them, didn't we send a school bus to pick you up? We rented out from a public high school. So we have like sugar cookies in the green room, and we think that's really swank. $140 million budget. What kinds of stuff is it on the movie set? What kind of food do they serve on a $140 million movie?
Everything you could ever dream of, like 10,000 donuts, and they have every day at lunch.
What a waste of money! Bring in the donuts. Eat.
You could shoot a film with the amount of money they spend on craft service on a film like that.
I would think so, yeah.
5 films.
If we could
They
just
have like a sushi bar, a pasta bar. They have like a barbecue happening. They have unbelievable things.
Because I noticed that Bruce Willis is chewing throughout most of the movie. He's always like, "We're gonna get that asteroid. I'm coming right now." Now, Cookie's Fortune, a very different kind of movie.
Yeah.
That was, of course, a big epic. This is, you know, this is a movie that has a great cast and a lot of cool people. And you shot this in
Holly Springs, Mississippi. Yeah.
What
really
time of
small
year?
Town. It was June. It was very hot.
That gets sort of miserably hot, doesn't it?
It was unbelievable. We had to keep these rags in a cooler all the time to sort of like, you know, recycled rags to keep everybody cool all the time. I actually had a little bit of an accident where it was my first day of shooting, and I wasn't nervous at all. Everything was going really well. I knew everybody. I felt like I'd been there for years. And I went to the set, and I was standing there getting ready to work with Glenn Close and Julianne Moore, and it started to get really hot, and I started to, like, fan myself, and I was like, wow, I'm kind of nervous. And then I was like, well, I've never been this nervous before in my life.
Mm-hmm.
And I realized I had to leave the room because I couldn't go out and do the scene. And I turned around to walk out, and I fainted on top of this guy, and I came
now known as the luckiest man in Mississippi. It's like,
and I came
Did you
through.
land? Did he catch
Just,
you?
like, fell on top. Yeah, and he was like...
He was like,
He
what?
told me what happened, because I didn't even really, you know, you don't really know what's going on. You're sort of conscious, but... And then the medic came over, and he was, like, trying to, you know, intravenously give me Gatorade, and I was so embarrassed.
That's not a good medic. We're pumping Gatorade. Don't panic. Lime Gatorade is being pumped into your aorta. Don't worry about a thing.
But I was so embarrassed, because I thought, oh, great, Glenn Close is going to think I'm, like, pulling some stunt because I'm too nervous. And I wasn't at all. I just had heat, like a heat stroke.
You know what's weird is that it's a lot of guys' fantasy that a really attractive woman will faint and they'll catch them, and then just as they're waking up, be like, don't worry, I caught you, you know? I love you. That didn't happen though, did it? Okay, you can talk about that later. We have a clip here from Cookie's Fortune. Is there anything we need to know before we show it?
What is the clip? I forgot.
Okay, it's you fainting on top of a guy and him being really psyched.
Oh, yeah,
Let's take a look.
It's when I say I'm going to stay with Willis in the jail cell.
Okay, let's take a look at this clip from Cookie's Fortune.
Well, as long as you've got Willis in this cell, you can just count me in too, because I'm not leaving. They can't get me out of here, can they?
Well, let's leave that
Well, if they try, we can just remind them that I'm an actual criminal. I've got $234 worth of outstanding parking tickets. That's a Marshall County record. Not to mention a few other things they didn't catch me for. And I've been on the lam. I'm a fugitive from justice, so arrest me!
The film is out right now. It's available everywhere. It's in theaters. And was it fun? Because Altman's movies are very, very episodic. They have an interesting... Was he an interesting director to work with?
He was amazing. It was I'd been working in England with Ray Fiennes on a period film on Eugene Onegin, and 5 days later I was in Mississippi with no hair. I mean, I got to wear the same costume. Yeah. Well, I did it here in New York. I didn't entrust the hairstylist in Mississippi.
There's more to that story. Got to find out what they're doing down there. All right. It was really nice to have you on the program, though. Best of luck with the movie. Liv Tyler, everybody. We're going to take a break. Tim Meadows coming up in just a while, so stick around.